What does a church do when it loses its pastor? Who do they call? Is there a plan in place to be able to find the next pastor for their church? Pastors leave for various reasons. Some resign, some have health issues, some people take another church, sometimes the pastor dies. Then sadly, sometimes the pastor just walks into church and he quits. That leaves a vacuum in the leadership of the church, and the church can flounder, have problems, and the devil can come in, and the church loses members, and the church becomes crippled because people fail to give and they fail to attend the church properly, and the devil comes in and causes all kinds of discord, disruption in the church, despair, doubt, and defeat. This is a crucial time in the church's ministry, and God has called us to come along beside these churches and help them find their next pastor. Hi, we're the Vinsons, and God has called us into the ministry of rescuing churches. With our many years of experience, God has uniquely prepared us for this new ministry of rescuing churches. I was the pastor at Hunterdale Baptist Church for almost 47 years, and I was involved in all the ministries of the church. I know all the ins and outs and the workings of the church. And I led the congregational singing. My wife played the piano. We were a team there. And while we were there at the church, I was able to be a part of the Virginia Assembly of Independent Baptists, and I was able to be a part of the Old Dominion Association of Church Schools, and I served in the Beacon International Baptist Mission Board for 17 years in Johnson City, Tennessee.
I had the wonderful privilege of working alongside my husband for the 47 years. During that time, I was able to play the piano and work with the choir for the music ministry. I enjoyed teaching Sunday school, Vacation Bible School. We started a Ladies Bible Fellowship, and that ministry is still going today. During this time, I also spent 15 years working in the church office. We've had a wonderful experience of serving together.
As my wife and I began to pray of what to do in the next part of our ministry, we saw all across America how there were many churches who did not have a pastor and did not know how to find their pastor. And God laid on our hearts to go and help them find their next pastor. And He used Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 30, where God basically is saying, I looked for a man to stand in the gap, and I found none. My wife and I are willing to stand in the gap for these churches to help them find their next pastor. The need is great all across America. Churches are closing. We lose 80 churches every week that closes. 40 preachers quit the ministry every week. We lost 1,500 independent Baptist churches during COVID. We can't afford to lose one more church. Think about what happens when a church closes its doors. Church property is lost. Church buildings are lost. This could be the last testimony in time for the Lord Jesus Christ. There's no more soul winning. There's no more vacation Bible schools. There are no more revivals. The mission conferences are stopped. There's no more support for missionaries. Church ministries are gone, and Satan wins. God has given us a theme of rescue, ready to help, encouraging members, serve during the transition, caring for the hurting, urging the church to pray, equipping the church to find their next pastor. God has given us a proven method to be able to help churches find their next pastor. Upon receiving a call, we can go to that church, sit down with the leadership in the church, and to discuss things with them that they need to know about finding their next pastor. We can bring stability to the church, we can encourage the people, we can bring some guidance and hope to the church. One of the first things we do when we get to the church, we may have to help form a pulpit committee, and we will look for the most spiritual people in the church to put together on the committee. Most people that serve on a pulpit committee do not know what to do, and that is why my wife and I can come along beside them, and I can show them what they need to do to get through this process to find the right pastor for their church. This is a proven method that God has given to us, and we've seen it work in several churches.
Hi, this is Pastor Greg Gray with the Calvary Baptist Church in Smithfield, Virginia. And I want to recommend to you Brother Howard and his wife Sandra Vinson and this new ministry God has called them to, rescuing churches by standing in the gap. They've faithfully served the Lord for many years in the local church ministry, and now they're seeking to help other churches. We're glad to send them out, and I encourage you to prayerfully consider supporting them, having them in to help you, and may God bless them in the work that they're called to do.
Would you consider partnering with us in this new ministry? Churches desperately need a pastor. Sister churches need to help reach those other churches. Would you consider supporting us in our new ministry of rescuing churches? For all of this is done for the cause of Christ. Thank you, and God bless you.